We're live.
We are live. Come on
Oh,
in, everybody.
yes, come on and they'll see. They'll see we're live.
So anyway, our topic for tonight is what would you tell your younger self today? And the reason
Right.
why I chose that topic is because don't sometimes when you're old and you look back and reflect on your life and you think about things you should have told your younger self. You know what I mean? Like if you could
Right.
speak to them. Let me turn this down because I am echoing.
Oh
So
yeah.
I thought that was to be a great topic. And so I'm gonna give people time enough to come in. Like I said, and it kept on pondering in my mind, like, what should I do with this live? Like far as the topic. And that kept on coming up. So yeah, I'm
Right.
thinking about that.
And you know that's a good topic too. And I'm happy that you invited me onto your channel to do this
You're so
because
welcome.
this is something outside of what we normally do with our show.
Right.
So it's exciting. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's a really good topic because, like you said, as you get older, you tend to kind of reflect back on
Right.
certain things that you experienced or, certain things that happened. And
Right.
you start thinking of ways that you could have, handled certain situations better. And I think all of us, tend to go through that.
Right. And I think when you're younger, well, as you get older, you reflect back on that time, right? Like I should have
Right.
did this, I should have did that. And so yeah, that's gonna be the topic. Katrina, maybe you could put the topic in the chat for us, if you don't mind.
Let me
What would you
see.
tell your younger self today? So that would be good. For me, I think I would tell my younger self today, um, we teach people how to treat us.
Right. That's
You
a
know,
good one.
yeah, because sometimes, we tend to give in to things that we normally don't give into. Trying to
Hmm.
be a people pleaser. And so I think that we teach people how to treat us. That's just my personal opinion. What about you? What you think?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true because I always say that is it coming up or is it going to the private chat?
What?
The topic that I just typed in. I think it's going to the private chat.
Okay, let me see if I can put it in chat. But yeah, you can go ahead and elaborate on what you were saying, Katrina. Like far as if you teach people how to treat you.
And that's very true
Mm-hmm.
because like I always say, people only do what you allow them to do to you.
Exactly.
So if you allow someone to take advantage of you and they know that they can take advantage of you, they're going to continue doing it. Because when you don't, speak up for yourself, it lets them know that that's okay. Like, that's okay to mistreat me. I'm not going to, have anything to say. Can you hear my television? Because they left the television on.
I can't hear your television. You fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that is a very good one
Mm-hmm.
because the younger, I feel like as you go through life and different situations happen, you tend to realize how you want to be treated and your
Exactly.
expectations from people change.
Exactly. Exactly. And I just feel like sometimes we give up, we sacrifice a lot of things, trying to make everybody happy around us, if that makes sense.
Right.
And we lose sight of ourselves and we give into things that we normally won't give into, trying to be,
Right.
a people pleaser. That's what I,
And
think.
then sometimes you tend to do what someone else wants you to do even though you don't necessarily feel comfortable doing it. And a
Exactly.
lot of times, the younger you are, the easier you are to influence because you don't have
Exactly.
that life experience.
Exactly. And then the other question I said I would ask myself to see, um, I would tell my younger self is you have to know your self worth,
Oh yeah,
right?
because guess what? That goes back to the first thing that you said.
Right.
Because when you don't truly know your self worth, you're
Hmm.
willing to allow people to treat you any type of way.
Right. And so like I said, and you're absolutely right. It go back to what I just said for as the first topic that I said, because if you don't know your self-worth, then you're not going to believe that you're worthy of anything, and anybody can
Right.
treat you any type of way. So yeah, that was one of the ones that I had.
And you know what's so crazy? Not to cut you off, but what's so crazy is that when I was in my 20s, I
Mm-hmm.
was so adamant with what I wanted and how, like, the
Really?
type of person I wanted to
You
deal with.
live?
I was so adamant. But I think that it was because of the situations that I had dealt with in relationships prior to,
Mm-hmm.
that point. I had Jeremiah at 19. So by the time I was 19, in my mind, I was like, I don't have time for the BS. I don't have time for nobody mistreating me or
Right.
handling me any type of way or use me. I have a kid. I'm going to school full time. I'm working full time. I'm doing what I have to do. And I was not willing to accept less than from
Right. And you
anyone. And people thought that it was so weird. At such a young age, I was so vocal with
right.
what I expected from a relationship, whether if it was with a maid or family members or whatever. Like, it was like, no, we're not doing this.
Exactly. Because like I said, you gotta know your self-worth, and you gotta know that you teach people how to treat you. I personally believe. Some
Yeah.
people don't feel like that, but that's how I would feel. I feel actually. And then the next one I said, the other one I said I would tell my younger self is uh slow down in life, enjoy life. Because we as kids, younger people,
We're so in a hurry to grow up.
to grow up, not knowing this whole big world is out here waiting for us. So that would be one of the things I would tell my younger self, like, just slow down, take it easy, take a breath,
Right.
breathe in. That's what I would tell my younger self.
You know what? That's, I think, one of the main things that I would tell my younger self too, to kind
Mm,
of slow down and enjoy the process.
right.
For me, I was like, I can't wait to be a grown up. I can't wait to be a grown up. And I don't get me wrong, I love being an adult because I don't like being bossed around. So being an adult is a good thing. But it comes with more than just being able to do whatever you want to do. Because even now, I still technically can't do whatever I want to do because I have kids. I have a whole family that depends on me. So I still can't jump up and go when I want to. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
definitely slow down and enjoy the process. And I really try to tell Jeremiah that, he's 19 years old now. And, he's at that age where he's just like, oh, but I want to do this, this, this. And I'm like, wait, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes,
Exactly.
buddy.
Welcome,
Just
Texas.
enjoy
I'm
it.
Katrina. Welcome, Texas Scratchaholic. I'm happy that you are here. The topic,
Hi,
um,
thank you.
the topic that I decided to talk about tonight was, what would you tell your younger self today? Like, what would you tell that young girl, that young lady, growing up? What would you tell her today? And so I said I would tell my younger self that you teach people how to treat you. Because sometimes we allow people to let them treat us any type of way, and just do us all types of, bad things, Katrina. And that affects us as we, grow up. So that was one of the things I said I would tell my younger self. And then you said, Katrina, what?
Um, I think one of the big things that I would tell myself, my younger self, is it's not your fault. Whatever decisions my parents made, that's not my fault. That's, what they decided to do with their life, and that's not a reflection of who I am because
Exactly.
of how they are. And that
Mm-hmm.
was something that I had to come to terms with because, the younger me, I was so angry. I had such a chip on my shoulder. And it was like, well, how come I was, dealt these cards? How come my parents weren't around? How come and as a child, you don't fully understand. But the older that I got, I learned and realized that their problems were not my burden.
Right.
It wasn't for me to have to deal with. I was a child. It wasn't my fault,
Right.
you know.
Texas
And I
Scratchaholic
think,
there. Welcome in,
uh,
Esther. I'm glad that you are here. Texas
hi,
Scratchaholic said
Ashley.
she would tell her younger self, embrace the process. Embrace the process is what I would tell my younger self. And that is so true.
Yeah,
Embrace
that's a
the
really
people
good
that
one.
take you in. I like that. And then I also said I would tell my younger self, think positive, be the best version of yourself. Because we don't hear that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Stay true to
Yeah.
yourself. You can only be you. Don't try to be nobody else. Just stay true to who you are. Because a lot of times we try to fit in, like I said, it goes back to the first, example I gave. As far as being people pleasers, just be yourself. You can only be the best version of you. You can't be no one else.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Right.
So you want to feed in off the hi essay. I'm happy
Hi,
you're
Essay.
here. The topic for tonight essay is what would you tell your younger self today? What would you tell your younger self today, essay?
Yeah, I mean, and also, just like you said, hi, Tamika Davis.
Hey Tamika, welcome in. I'm glad that you are here. The topic for tonight is what would you tell your younger self today? If you could
Right.
speak to that young lady, that young man, what would you speak into them today? And so the next thing I would tell myself, Katrina, is don't lose sight of who you are.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Don't lose yourself because in life we go through things, good times, bad times, and sometimes we lose sight of who we are. Through the trials
Mm-hmm.
and tribulations, you're going to have challenges that come your way. It's going to be some good, some is going to be bad. But I would tell my younger self to don't lose sight of who you are.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah, and
very
you know what, and also me too. And also not giving energy to people that aren't deserving of your energy.
mm-hmm. I
Because you can waste a lot of time dealing with certain people that just are no good for you, but you're young, you're going through the moment, you're oblivious to it, and you're just like, oh, well, I'm young and carefree. And you're not really thinking of the repercussions and the time that you're wasting for somebody that truly doesn't deserve you in the first place.
exactly. And Tamika Davis said she would tell her younger self to love herself more.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
That
very
that
good. I like that.
yeah, that is really, really a good
To
one.
love yourself more. And so the next one I would tell myself is do what makes you happy. Because happiness comes from within. You can't please everybody. You have to make
Right.
yourself happy. And
Yeah.
if people love you and respect, and if people love you the way they say they do, they respect whatever you have to say. So do what makes you
Right.
happy. They're not going to always agree with everything you say. They're not going to always agree with everything you do. But if they love you, they're going to respect you.
Right. Right. And
So,
that's very true. That's very true. I know one thing that I would definitely tell myself, my younger self, is do what I see best for me.
mm-hmm.
There was a lot of things that I wanted to do when I was younger, career wise and schooling wise. And I had relatives that was like, oh, that's not a real job. You're never going to make any money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to school for a bunch of stuff that I had no interest in. And I
Exactly.
never did any of those jobs. I have all these certifications and associates in medical office administration, never worked in a doctor's office. You know, never worked in a law office, and I'm a certified legal secretary, a certified notary public. I've never done none of that stuff because it was never anything that I was interested in, but I was pleasing other people.
Sometimes you can't please everybody. It's another message from Texas Scratchaholic. Katrina, you can read it.
She says also trust your gift of discernment.
Trust yourself. You gotta
Yeah,
know that sometimes we get intuitions. Sometimes we know that that's not right, and we tend to go the other way. So we gotta trust ourselves. So I agree with her completely.
yeah, yeah. And don't second guess yourself. I see Tam came in. Hi, Tam. Thanks for liking the video. Guys, don't forget to like the video and share us out.
And so the next thing I said I would tell my inner self is um, to say no more often, because I found that I was always saying yes, 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 and doing things that I really didn't want to do. And that goes back to being a people pleaser. I would tell my inner self to say no more often. It may sound selfish, but sometimes you got to be kind to yourself. You got to give grace to yourself.
And sometimes you have to be selfish to save yourself.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah. And then I will also tell my younger self, invest and save. To y'all
Oh,
young,
yeah.
as far as working, you start out working when you're younger. We spend money on this and that. I wish I would have known the importance of saving and investing like I
But
do.
you know what it is? We weren't taught the importance of that.
Right. Like
That's
so.
what it is.
Right. And so, because that'll prepare you in the long run. For
Yeah.
as when you have children, if you were planning on buying a house or things of that nature. The only thing I was really taught was being young. Graduate high school. Just bring me back.
Graduate and get a job.
Bring me back.
Graduate and get a job.
That is it. So I would tell my younger self to invest, save money.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I would definitely tell my younger self that too, because even looking back, even in my 20s, I was a general manager for a collection agency for Chase Bank. And I made really, really good money at a very young age. I was making like $10,000 a month in commissions. And I only had Jeremiah at the time. We lived in a great neighborhood. He had everything that he wanted. We had nice transportation. I, paid for somebody to like pick him up from school and watch him so I got off. And I would like blow money like it was nothing. Like he was like 5, 6 years old with like $200 sneakers just because I could afford it. Whereas if I would have saved that money and invested it into something, I would be so much further along. So that is definitely something that I'm trying to teach my kids as well.
Exactly. So Texas Scratchaholic says something else, Katrina.
My third is don't lean to my own understanding. My ways, my thoughts, my plans are not his.
Amen. That's to that. That is true. That is true. I agree with that 100% because sometimes he gives us signs, right? We pray, we ask him to lead us in the right direction, or for us to make the right decision, and he'll give us the signs, but we
ignore all those signs and go full throttle into danger, and then wonder why it played out the way that it played. Right, because we ignore red flags.
That's right. So you gotta sometimes when you pray and you ask for things like to lead you in the right way, sometimes you gotta be still, you gotta listen. Welcome, Big Rooster. I'm glad that you are here. And she said her last one is give yourself some grace. I agree. Yeah. Everybody deserves grace. Everybody deserves grace. And so the topic for tonight, you guys that's coming in, is what would you tell your younger self today? What advice would you give your younger self? And so my first one was you teach people how to treat you. I would be more like I said, I would be more of a no person. I wouldn't give in so easy. I wouldn't compromise my feelings for others because we do that a lot. Tamika Davis said, respect myself more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that goes into what we were saying. Sometimes we sacrifice things when we're younger and we let people do certain things to us, and it determines who we become as adults. So it's just, be kind to yourself, love yourself more. And that's what I would tell my younger self, Katrina. I really would. And I would tell my younger self to challenge myself more. And to know that just because you failed don't mean that it's the end. In life, you're going to go through some things, you're going to have challenges, and it's okay to fail. But don't just know that it's a life lesson. Everything you go through is a life lesson, right? So I would say that to my younger self. I really would. Welcome in, Sweet Ray. I'm glad that you are here.
Hi, Sweet Ray. Hi, everyone just coming in.
So tonight, the topic for tonight is what would I tell my younger self today? Hi, Educated Natural. Thanks for being here. And so, Katrina, is there anything else you would tell your younger self today? Insight?
Be I think be more understanding. I think I've always been a person that was just kind of cut and dry. It's either black or white. It's never gray or any in between. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
still like that now. I'm still learning, but I would definitely tell myself to be more understanding to
Right.
other people's, feelings, and that their feelings are valid the same way that my feelings are valid.
Right.
You know,
Exactly. I agree with that. And
yeah,
so
that's definitely something that I would tell myself.
when we say that we teach people how to treat us, right? A lot of times, like I said before in the beginning of this live, we accept a lot of things, right? Even though we know it's wrong, even though we know that how somebody treating us is not the way we deserve to be treated, right? So, I would go back to that young girl and say, you deserve more. You
Right.
deserve praise. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to have the finer things in life. That's what I would say to that younger person. You teach people how to treat you, and
And you deserve to be happy.
you deserve to be happy. Don't
You
sacrifice.
deserve to be happy. You
That's right.
deserve to feel safe,
Right.
you know?
Right. And I believe every young man and every young lady deserves that. I truly do. And
Yeah.
so that's my opinion on that. And then I also said I would say to my younger self, I was speaking to my younger self, be true to yourself. Don't change for
Oh,
nobody.
yeah.
If you stay true to yourself, you can go a long way. Be the best version of you, but don't sacrifice who you are. You have to stay true.
Right.
You can't be like this person or that person. You can only be yourself. And
And not
so,
only that, if someone truly cares about you or truly, wants to deal with you, they're going to accept the way that you are. There should be
mm,
no need for you to change.
yeah, but sometimes life people expect you to, right?
Right. Right.
And so I would speak to
And
that young.
sometimes we find ourselves changing because of what someone else expects of us.
Exactly, exactly. So for me, I would tell I would just speak life into that young girl. I would say that life, enjoy the journey of being young. You're only young once. Um,
Right.
Take life and strive. There are going to be some mistakes along the way, and it's okay. Um, be proud of who you are. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not capable of achieving your dreams. Dream high,
Right.
dream big. The sky is the limit. I would speak that into that young girl today because
And
back then.
I think a lot of us needed that in our younger years. I know, like, for myself, I was a single mom at a young age, and it was just me and my son.
Mhm.
And I didn't really have anybody else. It was just us.
Right, and
So
back
sometimes you do
then,
need that encouragement.
right, and back then you just need. For me, I feel like growing up, I needed that person to say, "Dream big." Set your goals high. You can achieve anything you want to. You know,
Right.
don't let a man mistreat you. Don't lower your standards for him. Love yourself. That goes a long way as a young lady. I'm pretty sure it's for young men too. But to hear those words, I
Right.
would speak that to my younger self today. And I think it would have been made. I would have made a lot of better decisions for me.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I was speaking to myself. And like I said, don't settle. Don't cut yourself short. Know that you deserve everything that this life has to offer you.
Right.
So that's what I
Right.
would.
And nothing's off limits. Nothing that you want to achieve is off limits. Nothing is out of reach, especially in today's society with the way things are. This younger generation, they're not taught how we are to work. You go to school, you graduate high school, you get a job, you stay at the job till you retire. You hope you get a job in the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my grandmother saying that you want a job with the government. That way you can work there till you're 65 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, to retire with a great pension. The sky is literally the limit. If I would have done what I truly wanted to do when I was younger, I probably would have been so much further in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I know with my kids, I definitely try to encourage them to, do what's going to make them happy.
Right.
Within reason, unless it's some like off the wall something, but
Right.
within reason. Yeah.
Right. And
And
I
I
was.
think encouragement goes a long way. I know for me, with how I was raised,
Mhm.
I feel like having someone that would have been encouraging and uplifting towards me, I
Mhm.
think it would have definitely changed my outlook on life instead of having me, in my 20s, I was such a bitter person. I had a chip on my shoulder. I hated everyone, you know.
So, Trina, let me ask you a question. What would you tell that bitter young lady today? What would you tell that young lady today if you can speak to her?
Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy.
Because you felt back then you was bitter because you wasn't happy, or just because of certain things
Because I
in your
felt
life?
like I felt like I had to live a certain way
Mm-hmm.
and do things a certain way in order to, I guess, appease my grandmother, because I was raised by my grandmother, and it was just her and I. I was raised, I'm the oldest of 14, but I was raised as an only child.
Right.
So with her, it was, oh, well, this is what you do. My grandmother was a psychiatrist for kids with special needs. So,
Mm-hmm.
she had a really good job. She had a really good job. She was well off. We, traveled a lot, did certain things. And she had a certain way of how she wanted me to be, how she wanted me to speak, how she wanted me to dress, how she wanted me to act, the type of people I could hang around. It was just very, very structured. And she wanted me to fit into this little box, but what I wanted to do was outside of the box,
Right.
and she wasn't very accepting of it. So I did what she wanted me to do to keep her happy. And deep down inside, I wasn't happy because it's not what I wanted to do.
Right. And because happiness comes from within, right? In
Right.
life, we say, we want somebody to make us happy, but the truth of the matter is happiness starts from within.
Right.
People
You have to be happy within yourself. You can't
right.
depend on happiness from someone else. Right.
Exactly, exactly. And so I will also tell myself, my younger self right now, be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself. Um, Always tell the truth, even if it hurts, because a black lie always come out somehow or another. And I believe that in life, when you be true to yourself, and like I said, you set your goals high. You don't have the outside persuasion of friends and family that always was trying to steer you in the wrong way. You
Right.
make it. You grow. You prosper. But if you always have people along the way growing up that you're not supposed to do one thing, right? They try to steer you into the wrong direction. And
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to be doing that. For example, in high school at times, don't judge me, y'all. Now I know I'm supposed to be in school, but I'm cutting school. But I was A and B student, hanging with the wrong crowd, right? So I would tell that person, be you. Be you. Do what you need to do for yourself, and don't worry about what life throw your way. That everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You're going to have challenges, but always know that those challenges don't last for always, and be the best version of you.
Right.
Don't worry about the naysayers. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Dream big, big. Set your goals high. Set your standards high. Don't lower your standards for a man. Love yourself more. Because we as women, we like to lower our standards for men. Because we love
Yeah. Yeah,
because
and I think we've all kind of been at that point sometimes. Well, when I was in high school, I only showed up when it was time to take a test.
we love. So I would
I would go
tell
the first I would go the first day of each marking period to get the syllabus. They used to give out a syllabus. And I would show up on the testing days, hand in all my work up until that day, take the test and pass the test, and then just not come back until it was time to take another test.
right. I can't see the chat, Katrina. It's not showing up on my end, so I don't know if anybody's commenting. But yeah, I was telling my younger self to be the best version of you.
Right.
Don't change yourself for anybody. Um, Enjoy being a child. Enjoy your teenage years. You only get to
Yeah.
be that person once, because they say, as the older people say, you're only a child for a young small amount of time, but you're adult forever. So I wish I
Right.
enjoyed my teenage years. I wish I would have, like I said, been more kinder to myself, more true to who I was, not trying to fit in with the crowd, learning how to say no to certain things, not trying to be a people pleaser. I wish I would have did. I would have learned more about saving and investment. You know, because
Yeah.
it probably would have put me. I mean, investing. Excuse me, guys. It probably would have put me and my family in a better situation, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because
And I feel the same way. I feel the same way for sure.
yeah, so it's a lot of things. You know, like I said, enjoy the journey. Be kind to yourself. Um, Dream high. Set your expectations high. Don't lower your standards for anybody. Just love yourself.
Yeah.
Be
And
kind to
one
yourself.
thing that I definitely would tell my younger self is be nice,
Be
because
nice.
I was not a nice person.
Yeah.
I was not a very nice person to a lot of people. I was not a bully, but I was
Mhm.
just not nice.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
just not a nice person. And you know what's crazy is one day I was in a supermarket, and this was years ago. Jeremiah was younger, and I was in the supermarket, and I saw a girl that I went to high school with, and she looked at me and she was like, "Do you know you were so mean to me in high school?"
But why do you think
She,
that was, Katrina? Were you mean to people in high school?
I was not like I wasn't like somebody that would like harass people or whatever, but I was just snobby.
Mm.
I was just very snobby, and you know, I didn't understand that the way that I was towards people truly affected them, because it was like, oh, this is high school. I'm never going to see you again when I'm gone. You know, I don't think about anything that happened in high school, but that doesn't mean that other people don't. So
Right.
something that what I would definitely tell my younger self is to be nice.
Right. And so, you guys, I want to switch gears for a minute, Katrina, because we had a live the other night, and I got a lot of feedback about alpha males versus beta males. And I don't
Uh-huh.
know if some of the people were in the chat that was there. I wanted to know, how did they enjoy that live? If anybody that was in the chat, that when we had alpha versus beta males, how did y'all like that live? Because we trying to get other content together that we feel like y'all may like. And I thought that was a good topic. A lot of people chimed in, even some of the
Right.
men. And so I just want to get an idea. How did they like it? Did they enjoy it? What was their thoughts about it? If anybody's able to say it in chat. Because I think we had good feedback from that live, Katrina. What you think?
Yes, we did. We did. And I think the topic that we have for tomorrow, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to kind of be the same, because
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of piggybacking off of that, but in a different direction. But I think that topic is going to be a good one as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we definitely, what we're doing right now is something completely different from what we normally do. This is Rashana, she invited me to come on her channel with her to go live. So this is
Mm-hmm.
not in association with the other project that we have going on. But because we are up here and we do have people on, we do want feedback on it, how everybody feels about how it's going so far. Um, I think that topic was a really good topic because you got to see everyone's different opinions.
Right.
Because, of
That's what
course,
Tam
people,
Tam. Excuse me. That's what Tam said. She
right,
said it was good conversation. It was good to hear different opinions. Yeah, because you want to hear different people opinions,
right.
not only from women. I like to hear men perspectives too. Like
Exactly.
so I
Exactly. And we don't always have to agree with each other. We can
right.
always have our own thoughts and our opinions and still not have to be like, well, I'm not going to talk to that person, or this
Mm-hmm.
isn't going to work. And it's okay, because we're all individuals and we're all allowed to think the way we want, how we feel.
Mm-hmm. So I think that was a great topic to have. Like I said, I want to gear our my lives, you guys. I'm gonna start going live every Friday around this time. So I need my watch hours. I'm going to be coming up with different types of topics. And so type in the chat what y'all would like for me to talk about. I don't have a problem talking about it. Um, Anything. It doesn't matter. Nothing is off limits. I'm going to be asking people to join me, like Tam Tam. and Katrina, and we're gonna just make this flow, Katrina. So you guys, I just
Yeah.
jumped on a live, to chat and see how y'all was doing, and to bring this question to y'all about what would y'all tell y'all younger self today if y'all was young, y'all younger self today. So basically, I'm trying to get good evening host and chat. Elevate with Vern. Hi, Elevate with Vern. Thanks for being here. So our topic for tonight, Vern, was what would you tell your younger self today? What would you say to that younger self today? And I said I would tell my younger self to be kind to myself, to know your self-worth, to not lower your standards, to not be a people pleaser, to dream high, to know that in life you're going to go through some things, but it's okay.
Right.
That's what I would tell my younger self today. And to save more, of course, like I said, invest. That's what I would definitely do. And you said, you would do what now? Again?
Definitely to save more, save and invest. I would tell myself to be kind to others. Also not to be so judgmental.
Yeah.
Of people and their situations and stuff like that, because not everyone comes from the same background, not everyone comes from the same circumstances. I think that would be one of the things that I would definitely tell myself. Also,
Right.
like you said, to slow down and just enjoy the process of growing up.
Thank you for being here, Elevate with Vern. She said it's her first time here. You
Oh,
always
thank you for joining us. Hi,
always
Sweet Ree. I don't know if I said hi to Sweet Ree, but I see that she's
love
on.
And so, yeah, I would say I would tell my younger self, make better decisions.
Yeah.
Learn, just make better decisions. Always, Tam said, I would tell myself to listen more and talk less. Yes, yes. Do you ever find yourself sometimes thinking back on what your parents told you? Like, don't do this, but we did it anyway. Listen to me. Don't go down the same path I went down. Just do what I tell you to do. I find myself as I get older. I think about a lot of things that they was trying to tell us, because we think back then they didn't know what they was telling us. Like we tried,
right,
but they were just trying to give us in the right direction. So I find myself, Elevate with Vern says, I would say be slow to anger. I was a little hot-headed back in the day.
Oh, but, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I still catch myself a lot with that one. I mean, yeah, definitely process the information before you react to it.
Right.
Because every action has a reaction, and you might not necessarily like what that reaction or the outcome is. So,
right. I would definitely say that. I would definitely speak to my younger self. I would definitely say be kind to myself. I would definitely say don't change your standards or lower your standards for anybody.
Right.
Make your own self happy. And I can't say it enough. In life you're going to make some mistakes along the way, but that's called life lessons. It's going to be okay. Because back then you didn't have people to tell you that. So that's what I would say to my younger self. So is there anything else you would like to say, Katrina?
No, I was trying to check the chat. I wanted to make sure we were caught up on the comments.
Yes, I can't see the comments, but I want to piggyback off of what Tim said about I would tell myself to listen more and talk less. I was always a talker. I don't care what my grandmother or my mother would say to me. I always had something to say back.
Me too.
Instead of just listening and taking in the gems. So I definitely would tell my younger self that you should have listened to them more.
You know what? And I was the same way. If they said one thing, I was going to say 10. Like that was me. And I was quick with it. I was quick with my sass. And I'm still kind of like that now. I think what the problem was for me back then was the fact that I had a lot of freedom as a teenager. I didn't have curfews. I had the same boyfriend the whole time I was in high school. We went on vacation together, did trips together. So I was given freedom at a very young age. So it was like, well, I can go and come when I want. Like, now you want to tell me to do something? Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're not starting that now, So I think that's what the main issue was with me with that was that I was, like 10th, 11th grade already kind of in a grown up situation, like leaving the country with my boyfriend because his parents didn't live here.
Oh
So
wow,
it was
really?
just, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, like we would go to Trinidad for like Christmas break, Thanksgiving, Easter, like all the major holidays because his parents lived in Trinidad.
Right. I would tell
So,
my
I was always back and forth, and that's not normal. Like that's not common
right.
for parents to allow, but I was raised by my grandmother. She was older too. So I was like, I don't got time to be chasing behind this girl. And she just let me do whatever I wanted to do.
Exactly. I would just tell my younger self, enjoy the journey of being young.
Right.
Just
Right.
enjoy the journey. Don't rush to be grown, because in life it's challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy being yourself. Go to school. Stay focused. Like I said, dream big. I would tell that to my younger self. And like I
Yeah.
said, the best version of you, because that's all you can be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
what
And
I
I would definitely tell myself nothing's off limits and keep going. Keep
mm-hmm.
going no matter how hard it gets. Keep going. Never give up.
Never give up. Keep your eye on the prize. Dream big, and know that nobody out there is better than you. And make
Right.
better decisions for yourself. For yourself, not for anybody else. And
Right.
don't be a people pleaser. Hi, this is Miss B and fam. Welcome to the live. I'm glad that you are here.
I
Welcome,
think we
everyone.
missed I think we missed a comment. Let me
What
see.
was it?
Hello, BN fam. Okay, so I see Elevate what Vern said. I would also say don't rush to grow up so fast. Adulting is trash.
That's true. That's true, though. That's
I hated being a kid. I hated every part of being a kid. I did not like it. I think because I didn't like being told what to do. But
mm-hmm.
now I do have times where I'm like, dang, I wish I was little again.
Yeah.
But when you're in that moment, you feel like it's forever that you're a kid. And then when you get grown, it's like, dang, I grew up kind of fast.
Yeah. Take your time. I would tell myself, take your time. It's not a marathon. Just enjoy the journey. Be
Right.
kind to yourself. I would speak that to that young girl back then, like I said. And I would say make better decisions. Because as you grow up, we make some decisions like that we're not happy with, pleasing other people. Make better decisions. Make better
And
decisions.
also think before you act.
Right.
That's something that I would tell myself. Think before you act because I was very impulsive when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, I was very impulsive. Like I didn't think about anything. It was like, okay, I want to do this. I'm going to do it. Oh, well, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm doing it anyway. I didn't really think about the consequences or repercussions of my actions.
Okay. Tam said, I will also say give people a chance. I made my own bubble and loved it. That's nice, Tam.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is, because you got to give people chances. You got to give people chances in life, and I don't know. I would say, and I will also
Well,
say,
I'm still learning that because I'd be like, I'm done.
right. I will also say that I was always the kind of give into everything. I would say to myself, be more firm. Stand up for yourself.
Like stand your ground. Like, no, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. I don't care what you say. I'm sticking to my guns. Yeah.
Right. Because a lot of times we give in to things that we really don't want to give in. And that goes back to being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell my younger self.
Yeah.
Think like I can't say it enough. I would say dream big, stay true to yourself. You teach people how to treat you. Don't lower your standards for anybody. Respect yourself, love yourself, be kinder to yourself, knowing that in life you're going to make some bad decisions, and it's okay. It's called life lessons. I would speak that to my younger self today, because I didn't have people to tell that to me. I didn't have people to tell me that. Give yourself grace, like Vern said, give yourself grace. Yes.
Yeah.
We all need grace. We all need. So I would tell that to my younger self. It's very important, to speak that to yourself when you're young and have others to speak it to you as well.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's
And
important.
that's the thing. A lot of us didn't have people to kind of nurture us in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes that does make a big difference, makes a big difference on how you handle certain situations and, what you're willing to accept from certain people. Sometimes you allow people to run all over you because you're like, well, if I speak up, then they're not going to like me anymore. If I say something, then they're not going to be my friend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you're a teenager or a young adult, well, I know teenagers for sure, your
Mm-hmm.
little friends, like you feel like that's like your world. But in all actuality, the majority of those people are not going to be your friend, 5 years from now.
I'm laughing at Miss being fair. She's and
Enjoy not paying bills.
oh yeah, that should have been number one.
Listen, that's the best part about being younger self.
Enjoy not paying
Shoot.
bills. Because look, them bills come like clockwork and they don't stop. Okay.
Listen, it's like the same bill comes every other week. Every other week, I feel like I'm paying a light bill or a water bill. I'm like, good grief, I just did this like 2 days ago.
That is too funny. I can't get over that comment. That should have been my number one. Enjoy not
and
paying
not
bills.
and not having to pay for your own groceries.
That's
Going
right.
into the grocery store, just putting stuff in the cart, not thinking about the price.
Mm-hmm. Look, these kids don't know. Enjoy being young.
Yeah.
These teenagers and people that say enjoy being young. Don't rush to grow up so fast. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
But like I said, those are the things I would tell my younger self, Katrina. I really would. Miss B and Fam said they don't stop, honey. No, they don't. I'll be trying to hide from them, Miss B. Miss B. I'll be like, hold up, is that a bill?
And now they come to your email. You ain't even got to worry about it coming into the mailbox.
I'll be running from them, Miss B. I'm like, hold up, is that a bill? Oh God, it's bills. And it seems like they come, like I said, like clockwork, honey. Look, I'll be running.
It's like you pay one bill, then two more come. It's like, good grief, you don't even realize how many bills you have. And then you have all the streaming services. Those are bills too.
Yeah. Tamika Davis said, yes, take your time. Yes, take your time.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell that to my 19-year-old because he's like he's like, oh, I want to move out and I want to do this. And I'm like, boy, we live in Miami. Do you know how much it costs for a 1-bedroom apartment here? Exactly. You better sit your tail down somewhere because you're not going to be able to survive out there. It's expensive.
Easy, but it's not. It's really not. And Ms. B and Fam said, yes, enjoy being young because being an adult is not what they think it is. Exactly. I don't know what they think it is.
You know what?
Money fly.
Yeah, it's definitely not what they think it is. But I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be a kid.
But like I said, I'll be running from bills. I'm like, hold up, is that a bill? Is that a bill? Look, enjoy being young. Enjoy being young.
And I don't, you know what it is? I don't think that they understand how fun it is to be young.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I mean, they have stress, but it's not as stressful as when you're the one that's in charge of a whole household and a whole family and needing to provide everything. It's not the same,
I wonder why these teenagers, well, this generation, I know it's something about this generation. Why are they so in a hurry to grow up?
Because of what they see on social media. They see all these young people out living these great lives with these fancy cars and all, I'm 38, but even like in my time when I was a teenager, 19 years old, I don't even think there was Facebook. I think there was MySpace, but I never had a MySpace. Mm-hmm. But the internet was not how it is now.
Right.
If you really think about it, going onto your phone to go on the internet didn't really become a popular thing until like 2011.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
That's still even fairly new. In the early 2000s, you still had to pay to open up a text message when someone texts you. So it's a lot has changed. These kids now, even little toddlers, you see them with the phones and the iPads and stuff. Like my son Logan, he has autism and he's nonverbal. He knows how to go on Google Maps. He knows how to have Google Maps on the mainframe and then Coco Melon really small in the corner. And he's scrolling through the neighborhood. It's definitely the social media. Now everything that happens, the minute that it happens, it's online.
Right. Miss
It's
B and
online
Fam
instantly.
yeah, Miss B and Fam said, yes, I think it's the internet and social media. I agree. And then she
Yeah.
also said, I don't want to skip this, what she put in the chat. She said, this day and time being a child is so different these days. And that's true.
Yeah. And then, they look at other people with these great lives and they want that too. They feel like, oh, that's so easy to get because they just, picked up a camera and started recording and now they're making all this money. And that's not how it works,
Because obviously, I'm going to get back to it, Miss. Welcome in, J Ray. I'm happy that you are here, sis. I'm going to piggyback off what Miss B and Fam said about, yes, I think it's the internet and social media. That is very true because let me tell you, my grandbaby is 2 going on 3, right? She'll be 3 in December. She know how to swipe that phone. She know how to go to what she want to look at on YouTube and all that. I know I probably wasn't that smart. That is crazy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Can't read, can't write, but they know how to look up stuff on and that's the same thing with Logan.
She know how to go to YouTube because she like looking at the little cartoons and stuff. And I'm saying to myself, little brain learn how to do that. It's amazing.
Yeah, they know. They know. Hey, J Red. Yeah, they definitely know how to maneuver all that stuff. Back when we were younger, we used to go outside and play. You don't see no kids outside. I remember like Christmas when I was growing up, we would get skates, we would get bikes, we'd be outside playing kickball, baseball. They didn't even know how to play baseball. These kids don't do nothing outside.
All they do
nothing
is
outside. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, like in my neighborhood, my kids are the only kids that you see outside running around in the front yard. No other kids do you ever see outside playing.
So Miss B and Fam said, oh yes, and can tell you how to find what you're looking for on the phone. Sure can.
Yeah.
Look, my grandbaby know how to unlock my phone. I didn't even know she knew how to unlock my phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. They be knowing your passwords and all.
Yes.
They be knowing can't read a link, but they know how to do the little codes and everything else.
When I seen them little hands go swiping up and doing, I said, well, what is going on? I couldn't believe it. And then when I put my phone down, her little hands came and picked it up. And she must have been studying me, watching me unlock my phone. Because she knew how to unlock my phone. I was flabbergasted. These kids are way beyond their time, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they know a lot.
Yeah.
So J Red says, I take the electronics from them and make them play games and stuff, but it only lasts an hour or 2. Now, you know what? The good thing about my kids, honestly, my kids love being outside. So now don't get me wrong, they are on their electronics a lot, but I can make them go out. Like they'll go outside and stay all day and play. So that's one thing. But you do have to sometimes give them a break from it because it's too much.
Miss B and Fam said, my daughter has Down syndrome, but she started my YouTube channel. Really, Miss B?
Wow.
That is awesome. That is awesome. See? Never estimate the intelligence of a child. Okay? That is awesome. I'm just in shock about that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. J Red really said they be setting their own passwords up, and all Duke talk about is changing my password because Kimmy knows I'm like, boys, how you even remember a password exactly. They smart, J Red. I don't know how to do that. I know my little baby, they be just swiping. I'll be looking at these kids like,
Mariah tried that password thing on her phone. It didn't last long because you don't need no password. I need to be able to watch everything that you are doing because it's some creeps outside of there, even on that Roblox game, I
want to get back to Miss B and Fam comment because that touched my heart when she said that. She said, yes, somebody told me that she was on YouTube, and I looked up my name, and there she was.
Wow.
So it was meant for you to have your channel. That wasn't by mistake.
Right, exactly.
These
That
children.
definitely was meant for you.
Mm-hmm. That is
That
amazing, Miss
definitely.
B. That is awesome. Yeah, these kids are smart. They can log on anything. Anything.
They
So
really can.
very
They
smart. I don't know, it's
really
something in
can.
the milk. Something in the milk. I don't know.
I don't know, because mine ain't even drink no regular, no canned milk.
They just so advanced. Or what they drink, Katrina.
They drink breast milk. I don't know what it was, but it's some. These kids, they know a lot.
Yes, God is good, Miss B and fam. God is very good. Tamika Davis said, my son is autism, and he be answering most of the questions when people play games or ask questions on YouTube.
Oh
Very
wow.
good. That's what I'm talking about, Tamika Davis. But let me
Yeah,
tell y'all
my
something.
my son Logan has autism, but he's nonverbal. I wish he would talk.
That's what I was about to say, different types, of autism. I can't really speak on it, Katrina. Maybe you could, elaborate on what you just said. It's different levels to that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, there's there's different levels and different forms. I know the doctor that we took Logan to, he doesn't normally diagnose in a category, but we
Mhm.
did have to do like genetic testing and stuff like that because they were kind of shocked that, after him we had two other kids that are perfectly, fine. And then
Right.
we have Mariah right before him. But yeah, with Logan, he's now like he mimics like songs and stuff like that, but he
Mhm.
doesn't say like you can't ask him like what's your name and he answers you. No. So he is considered nonverbal because he does
Okay.
not communicate. Yeah. And I'm hoping that listen, the one day I was sitting on the porch and he like opens the door and he's like, "Mommy." And I thought it was one of my daughters and I turned around and looked and it was him and he was like, "Mommy." And I was like, "Oh my, you
Katrina,
would have thought that I just won $1 million." I was screaming.
the
I was
best
so
feeling
upset
in
that I
the
didn't get it
world.
on recording. And he has not said it since.
Look, Miss B and fam say he's going to surprise you one day, Katrina.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. He will. He's definitely learning though. But he watches a lot of stuff in foreign languages. I just
Mhm.
think he don't understand what I'm saying. But he listens like if you call his name or whatever, but he watches a lot of stuff in like Spanish,
Mhm.
Arabic, stuff like that. He likes other languages.
Miss
So
B and
yeah.
fam say he probably can talk. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, he probably
He started
listen.
talking out
And
the
they
clear
will
sky. Yeah.
because he could wake up one day and just start speaking because the things like he knows how to sing his alphabet. He can sing the songs from Coco Melon. He
Mhm.
knows like to count. He knows how to count. And he speaks very clear when he does.
That is
He
a
speaks very
blessing.
clear when he does. So he just doesn't do it on command, but he does it like, at random.
Right. And Mr. Tamika Davis said, my son used to not talk either.
Oh,
So,
well, see,
so,
that gives me hope.
so hey, Tay, you finally caught me live, sis.
Hi,
Um,
Kate.
so I'm assuming that because they are nonverbal, it could come a time that they can't talk and you just don't know. Is that what Tamika Davis is basically saying? Because I'm not familiar with it. I just don't want to speak on something I'm not familiar
Yeah.
with.
I mean, well, when what they consider nonverbal is that they don't communicate effectively.
Okay.
So even though Logan can say some words, he doesn't communicate them effectively. Like if something was to happen to him, he couldn't tell you, "Oh, my name is Logan and I live at such and such." Like he can't tell you that. But he can guide you to his house because he does know where his house is. It's just, so we do take extra precaution with him because we don't want him to, something to happen and he, can't, and I don't even know what I would do. I can't even think about what I would do.
Right.
But it does, they can do speech therapy, they can do ABA therapy. He does do speech therapy at school, and he does occupational therapy at school to help with his fine motor skills. And then I
Mhm.
also, we practice with him at home. Like every day he gets homework. We make sure he does his homework and stuff like that. He's actually going to be going back to speech outside of the school setting in 2 weeks. That's when it starts back up for him. So yeah, I mean, and he's doing good
So
for the
Miss
most
Bennett,
part.
that's good, Katrina. Miss B and Fam said it took to my daughter a little while, but now you can't make her hush. It took her a little while to be quiet. Said,
Now
now.
she's a chatterbox. She's like, oh, I held it in too long.
He said, don't hear what I got to say, okay?
Right.
Tamika said he used to communicate with his hands.
Oh, Logan does that too.
I have seen children do that, communicate with their hands and stuff like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, like if he wants you to get something for him, he'll come and he'll grab you by the hand. He'll bring you to the kitchen. He'll raise your hand up, like, and point to what he wants you to open and point, like, he knows what he wants.
It's amazing. Y'all got me smiling. It's like I said, I'm not familiar with that, but I love to hear people speak on that because it's very informative. And like I said, it's different. I do know that it's different levels to autism. I do know that. So that's great. That's amazing. Y'all got me smiling. Y'all done made my night.
Yeah, definitely. Like Miss B says, it's always on their own time, and that's so true. Mm-hmm. That's very, very true. When they want to talk, it is on their own time. Because like I said, he just randomly says stuff. And, we don't talk to him, like a baby. We talk to him regular. And he does understand us. Like he knows what our routine is. Like in the mornings, he knows what the routine is. He knows, like, when he comes home, he puts his shoes in a certain place. He knows how to change his clothes. So he does know, different things.
Right. And to me,
okay, your son did all those things.
That's good.
The only therapy that we have not done with him is ABA. And the reason why we didn't do ABA therapy was because when he finally got approval from his insurance, it was right when COVID started and they weren't accepting any patients. And now the wait list is like 2 years to get into a program. I did end up taking a behavioral therapist course during COVID because I wanted to learn how to better cope with him.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to learn how to better cope with him. Crystal 7 says you can't get the therapist to come to your home. Oh, no. I have too many other people in my house. Like, my house is not set up for... My house isn't big enough for all that. Like, I get really bad anxiety with people coming to my house, and that would drive me crazy. But when he does start ABA, it's a waiting. Well, at this point, it's just a wait. It's a waiting period because in the state of Florida, for a while, they weren't even approving anyone for ABA. So he did go to his neurologist, and they did get the approval set for him. But I can't have... My house has so much going on. Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I would go crazy. So Tamika Davis says next one is next ABA. Yeah. So he'll...
Ask you a question, Katrina. What is ABA? Because y'all is
it's basically like it's basically behavioral therapy where I'm gonna be honest, we were against it at first because we did watch a lot of videos about it, and I was like, it's like they're training a puppy. Like they would be like they just do different exercises with them to get them to learn basic like life skills.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they have different, techniques and stuff like that they do with them to get them to better cope and understand,
Okay. And so how long do they have to actually go through that process? Like, is it different steps they go through?
For as long as they need it. I mean, for him, because of his situation, he qualifies for 40 hours a week. But mind you guys, he goes to a school too. So he's at school from 8 in the morning until 1:50. And then to do 8 hours, 5 days a week of ABA therapy, that's insane. And I can't have a therapist in my house for 8 hours at a time. Like, there's no way. Because, I have other kids. He's not my only child, and I don't think that it's fair to them. And then not only that, my girls do Girl Scouts and have other activities too. So what we're going to do is a therapist is going to come and work with him at school.
That's good.
Yeah, the therapist will come work with him at school, and then on Saturdays she'll come here for 4 hours on Saturday morning. So that was the compromise that we kind of came up with. So he's on the waiting list for the ABA therapist through the state, but the school board has their own ABA therapist, and he's going to be starting with them in January. And they're going to go to the school, and then Saturdays they're going to come over here, which is fine with me because it's one day out of the week. I can't do 8 hours, 5 days a week. That would drive me crazy.
Well, let me ask you a question, Katrina, because I know how you is about, talking about certain things on everything's not for YouTube. But I just want to know, how do you or any of the ladies can answer this in the chat? Like I said, this is very informative for me. How did y'all know that your child had autism? Like, were there signs?
I knew when Logan was 6 months old.
Oh,
I knew when Logan was 6 months old. Like I said, my grandmother was actually a psychiatrist for children with autism. So I grew up, seeing kids with special needs, and there were certain traits that he would do. He was very meticulous with certain things. He would line, like at a very young age, he would color coordinate stuff. Like when he was sitting and playing with his blocks, he would color coordinate stuff. When he started walking, he would we had a long hallway at our old house, and he would stand in the hallway and the lights would be off, and he would just be lining up stuff like papers or whatever. He was always very meticulous. He did not cry a lot. He was the quietest baby ever. Everyone used to say, "Oh my gosh, he's so good. He's so good." And then when he started Head Start when he was 2. And when he started Head Start, that's when we really knew that we saw the difference. That's when Lawrence realized, okay, she's right. Because he just thought I was, nuts.
Oh, wow. Look at Miss B and Fam comment. You can read it.
So she says, the doctor told me before she was born and told me that we could abort if we wanted to. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think that I would have gotten it. If I would have known that Logan was going to have autism before he was born, I wouldn't have. I love my son. I can't imagine my life without him. And Crystal 7 says that she was in denial. My husband was in denial. He used to get so mad at me because I would just sit and I would watch Logan, and it was just certain things that he did. He didn't play with, him and Mariah are very close in age. He didn't play with her. He would just sit and play by himself. Hi, chilling with Tracy.
Welcome. We're happy that you are here.
Yeah, he would just play by himself. It was a lot of things that he did, but also because I knew the signs, I knew the signs because my grandmother was a therapist and I used to volunteer in high school and stuff like that with her.
So
yeah, and then when he turned 2, he stopped eating certain things.
That's crazy. I mean, I can imagine somebody telling me I can abort my child because they have autism. That's still a lot.
Yeah,
I can't imagine, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe. I can't believe that they told you that.
Doctors do tell you stuff like that.
I mean, I guess they figure, because you know what it is, having a child with special needs, it's a lot of work. It's very overwhelming. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. So maybe they figure, well, I'll give you a choice on if you want to deal with it or not. But most parents are going to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could never imagine. Don't get me wrong. Logan drives me insane. He's always doing too much. But I can't imagine. Like on Saturdays, Logan wakes up at 7 o'clock. I'm up at 7 o'clock with my baby. We have our iced coffee together because he loves coffee. I watch Coco Melon with him. That's our little bonding time.
So basically, what I'm gathering from you, Katrina, and the ladies in the chat, and I appreciate y'all sharing that information, ladies. Y'all didn't have to, but it could possibly help somebody else. Right. I didn't know the signs of autism, so thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. And I want to know, so is it different? Like, they show different signs, like with autism? Like one child could be one way, and another could possibly be another. That's how it is.
Right. Because there are some kids that have autism that are high functioning. That are, very high functioning. You wouldn't even be able to tell that they have autism. With Logan, what happened with him is that, like I said, he started Head Start, And when he was at Head Start, the center that when I enrolled him, I no, Logan's not on any medication.
Can
I'm
I ask
so
you a question,
scared.
Katrina, before you answer that question? Why do they like to give children like that meds? Is it to calm them down?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
because a lot of people can't handle.
okay.
Jeremiah was diagnosed when he was younger. He was on medication for not autism or anything like that, but for hyperactivity, and that medicine almost killed him.
Really?
It almost killed him. Yeah, they had him because he could not sleep. He was so
Right.
hyper, he could not sleep. And he would be up like all night long and he would sleepwalk. It was so crazy. Like I had to have locks and, stuff like that on the doors. And this is my 19-year-old. And he was taking this medicine and he almost drowned in the bathtub from it. And he was about 8 years old. So he wasn't no little, kid, and I
Right.
never gave him that medicine again. So with Logan, I've been very adamant of not giving him medication. I mean, I don't think that I'm necessarily opposed to, like, if it gets to the point to where he's having a hard time in school and that's what we have to do, then that's different. But
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bring it up to the doctor and be like, oh, he needs medicine.
Mm.
Right. And that's what it was with my oldest. He was literally like zoned out. His eyes were glossy. Like it was literally like he was high from the medication.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look,
It
we
was
started
very
on one topic and it ended up to this, and this is
and
very
it ended up being something completely different. But
interesting.
Logan does go to an elementary school, but he's in the ESE program there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like he has a 504 plan and an IEP and all of that, and I just keep on top of it.
Right.
So
So,
Crystal says yes, but I don't want him on it anymore. But I want him to be
the
able to
fun
function in
in
school.
school.
And that's the
Yeah.
hard part. Because even after I took Jeremiah off of his medicine, it was very, very hard for him. It was very hard. And, I think they just have to find a balance some way. Like now with Logan, what we're working on is getting him a paraprofessional so he can have one-on-one, because Logan is very delayed, very delayed. So he really does need like one-on-one attention. We were trying to get him into an ABA center full time instead of regular school, but in the state of Florida, they don't allow that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because he's getting older, so he's getting more rambunctious. It's getting harder to, kind of handle him. But we do our best to, try to calm him down. And my oldest is really good with calming him down too.
That's good.
Yeah,
But
and
there
with
are
the
a lot
medication,
of
you have to be
resources out
careful.
there. There are a lot of
Huh?
resources out there for children with autism, correct?
Yeah, if you know about them. If
Okay.
you know about them, yeah. Like me, I actually go, well, I'm starting back up. Last school year, I started it at Mariah's school because her school is like the feeder pattern school for my house, but they don't have a program for kids with special needs. And a lot of parents don't know the steps to go through to get their kids tested. So starting next week, I'll be going back there on Friday mornings to meet
Mm-hmm.
with parents to help them fill out the paperwork to go through this program that we have here called Fiddlers to get their kids evaluated.
Now, what is that exactly? Fiddler. You
Oh,
said
well,
fiddler.
Fiddlers is a program that we have here in Miami where when your child is going, you have a child that has some sort of disability or learning delay, you
Mm-hmm.
go there, it's through the school board, and they will test your child and make a determination on if they qualify for an IEP or a 504 plan. But what
Oh,
happens is a lot of times is the schools, if they don't have a program there for kids with special needs, then they don't know the process. But see, I've already gone through the process, so I know what to put on the paperwork and how to fill it out. So I go to her school on Fridays and meet with parents that need help filling that paperwork out.
it's amazing, Katrina, that you do that.
Yeah,
That's
because
very
their school's not
nice.
equipped for it. Like if Logan had to go there, they would not be able to handle him at all.
That is. And once
Yeah.
again, ladies, thank y'all for sharing that information. It was very informative. Somebody might know somebody who has a child that has autism, and y'all, the information y'all shared tonight was very helpful. So thank you. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, ladies in the chat. I really appreciate that because, like I said, I was always curious about that. But you don't want to ask questions and and make people feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable and things of that nature. So I truly appreciate y'all sharing the information tonight, you
Yeah,
guys.
sure. Yeah, we
I
get a
did.
lot of stares, especially with Logan, because he's 7, he's not potty trained,
So I'm about to end this live, you guys. Thank y'all for coming. We're gonna have Katrina come back on again if she's willing to give y'all some more information. I don't want to keep y'all long, but my battery is about to die. Now I want the live to cut off on y'all. So until
Thank
next
you for
time,
having me, Rashonda. Thank you
you're
for inviting
welcome.
me.
You're welcome. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all always welcome over here in my house. So until the next topic, next live. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.